issue with out-of-school children is a big issue in Nigeria. Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world, and we know that the concentration of that is in the northern states of Nigeria. Now, if we can begin to work to mitigate that, and if this work can be done, and as it should be, at the subnational level, because where education is concerned, a lot of that burden falls on the subnational. And there's always controversy, I'm not saying in Kaduna State, but generally across the states, controversy about some of these funds, especially education-related funds, that don't get used. You have children in dilapidated schools, if at all. There's also issues around security where the schools are concerned. We've had so many issues around children being abducted and kidnapped by terrorists and so forth in the various schools. And this contributes to out-of-school children, because when school is not a safe place to be, then you're going to stay at home. So if we can follow through with this, then I think it's a massive one. I think Governor Una Sani has consistently hit all the right notes with regards to governance in his state. He's done all that needs to be done with regards to ensuring that the state is less toxic, if I may call it that. There's drastically reduced reports of insecurity, of the killings we used to hear about, and so forth. And if we can introduce education into that, then we know that a lot of that insecurity and illegality will also reduce. So I really think this is a good one. Kudos to him. And I hope that this $62 million fund can be seen to fruition, because, wow, that is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
So the question I'd like to ask is, out of which school? Because when it comes to the north, the dynamic is different. Is it out of formal education, British Orthodoxy education, or Western Orthodoxy education, or out of Quranic school? Because the argument I see a lot of people make is that a child might not go to your formal Western education, but might go to Quranic school, which is also a form of education. At first, we need to get data. Before we even started, it's not about the money. It's about the data. Today, there's still a dispute on the number of out-of-school children. You ask somebody in government, they tell you 10 million. You ask somebody, they tell you 12 million. We need to get data first. Secondly, out of which school? Because those that have said, that go through the Almajiri system, they'll tell you it's a form of education too. Are the methods questionable? Yes. So the question is, can we also have a system of pedagogy that brings that Western education into people that go to Quranic school, which is a cultural and a religious form of education? Which, to a large extent, I argue that we should be able to mix both. Because when you go through the historical antecedents of schools, and the first university on this flank, one of the first universities in the 1500s, Sekoura University in Mali, it used to be a mosque. I was stunned. And that's why when you talk about the Timbuktu library, the lost libraries of Timbuktu, it was a form of education, but it wasn't the Western form of education. So at first, secondly, we need to develop a pedagogy model and how it's going to work. Thirdly, how will the money be deployed? So you've made the point about infrastructure, security. We always hear that narrative. At a point in this school, we had something called the Safe School Initiative that the likes of Gordon Brown came to launch in this country. What happened to it? It's a case of Pabo to the Pabolo Jasi. So it's not for the want of spending money. Former British Prime Minister came to launch that thing here. Have we been able to sustain it? Those are questions we should answer. Afterwards, then, who are those that are going to champion it? Do we have enough teachers? What's the welfare of these teachers? Then, what will be our approach to the society itself? Cultural methods. There are parents that can't afford anything. The reason some kids drop out of school is because of the economic situation. So you also have to look at that. So it has to be an holistic methodological approach. So when you look at this 62 million, the question I like to ask is, what is the money going to be spent on? Break down the line items. I don't like hearing this big MOU, because there was also something in the news yesterday when we're talking about we're going to take about 25 million loan from Kuwait in funds for education. What is it? What's the line item of the spending? The word out of school is very nebulous.